Women. Women. Today I'm going to talk to my fellow women in general, from wherever you're watching me from. Today's video is about women in the Bible, and I'm going to focus on one key character who played a key role in the life of Abram and in the life of Sarai. So her name is Hagar. For a very long time, I've really honestly ignored that there was this lady and what went about her, blah, 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 because I was focused on, oh, Abraham, God has said there's a promise. Let's just continue waiting with you through the scriptures. And Isaac comes, made a great nation, many descendants, and all that. Pause. So, Sarah is tired of waiting on the promises of God. She's like, Abraham, can I bring you a maidservant? Just sleep with her. We have a family. We begin and have a family. That's in Genesis chapter 16, verse 2. That's where Sarai brings all about this idea. Abraham is like, okay, there's no problem if that's how you're seeing it. You see in the homestead how you're saying, listen to your woman. Abraham took the advice seriously and listened to Sarai. So at that time, Sarai has gotten a maid servant or a servant. So in those days, you already understand. A servant coming in is to work, to do this and this and this. Not like she was given a whole document to sign and told, you're just going to conceive. And like nowadays, if somebody, peradventure I want somebody to get maybe pregnant for my family, God forbid, I will have to have written document. I should have lawyers, blah blah, so that in case there's a breach of contract, you know what I'm going to do. Okay, so in those days, who is a servant? Even in this era, when you hear a maid or maybe you hear somebody works for this and this and this and this person, you're just like, oh, she's just a maid. So we never give so much focus on such. Today I want to give so much importance and focus to this human being, beautiful human being. I wish I got to see her in my mind anyway. So Sarai comes in, she gets pregnant, and at just knowing that she's pregnant like this, she began to act somehow. Me, I would maybe say it's hormones. Maybe she was like, yo, nobody's going to tell me anything. I'm pregnant for this big family here, for the Uga and Madame, right? So pride enters her. That's how you can put it. Pride enters Hagar. And Hagar is like, oh, I'm going to be okay, right? I'll be treated like a princess because I'm carrying something very important for this family, which has been unable to conceive to this far. So I'm coming as a blessing to them. So I need to be treated right. And maybe she began to she began to despise now Sarai. At that time, she was called Sarai. And something very funny happened. Say women. Sarah goes and reports Hagar to Abraham, and she's like, no, this lady, she's just not doing what I wanted her. I just want to be humble, but she's not. She's really despising me and all that. Abraham, you deal with her however you want to. Just go and deal with her. Go deal with her however you want to. So Sarai begins to maltreat her. At that time, the Bible does not put clearly what she was doing with that at that time. So just know, this is somebody who has come from a different village or a different homeland to another place. Here you don't have friends. Here like you've come to give birth for the sake of my family. I'm not expecting you to even be having friends around. I don't want embarrassment. I don't want shame around. I don't want disgrace around me. You understand? So this is a servant, and that time Sarai is maybe she's making her do all the jobs in that homestead. Maybe carry water, go fetch firewood, come and cook for the family, maltreating her, maybe beating her at times. Maybe when things are not okay, and it was too much. Remember, for a servant to leave a place or a maid to leave a place and they just feel like this is enough, there should have been a lot of things at that time. There should have been enough, like enough. I do not want to do this again. There must have been enough of the things that maybe Sarai that time did to Hagar. So Hagar, she's like, yeah, I'm gone. I don't want to be here. I remember those days, there are just many freelance. Maybe there's a desert. There are no people in that area. I want to read for you in the book of Genesis chapter 16 verse 8. So she left. So chapter 16 verse 60 says, your slave is in your hands, Abraham said. Do her whatever you think it's best. Then Sarai mistreated Hagar. So she fled from her. So that's verse 8. And then verse 9, it says, then the angel of the Lord told her. So remember, this time Hagar has already left. She's somewhere in the desert, somewhere alone. So she just wondered to herself, what did I get myself into? I want to remind you, in as much as you're thinking that I really got myself in this shit, this BS, I don't know how I'm going to come out of it, today's video is going to be really inspiring to you. And the angel of the Lord told her, where have you come from and where are you going? A very unnecessary question. I'm expecting that from an angel. Damn it, you know I'm coming from. And she says this, I'm running away from my mistress, Sarai. She answered. The angel told her, then the angel of the Lord told her, go back to your mistress and submit to her. He added, I will increase your descendants so much that they will be too numerous to count. She gave this name to the Lord who spoke to her. You are the Lord who sees me. She said, I have now seen the one who sees me. So this time, Hagar is like, you don't have a choice. As in, how are you going to survive in a desert or somewhere out there alone? You're pregnant. There are maybe animals, there are people, but they might devour you. You just have to go back and submit to her, be humble. So she gives birth, and after 1 year, Isaac comes, the promised child to Abraham and Sarai. That time they were called Abraham and Sarai. So the child comes, and you know how kids can be, because I don't believe, okay, I really tried to judge that specific line there where maybe not Ishmael, now Ishmael, the child to Hagar, was mocking Isaac. Maybe he was saying, you have big nose, you have big legs, or something of the sort. But this is the first child of Sarai. You're a maid. Your child should not just be coming here and saying anything to my child. Because I was really trying to really look and be like, okay, what reason was reason enough for Sarai to just see Hagar is playing with Ishmael? Ishmael is just mocking Isaac. And why is Ishmael mocking Isaac, my son, my promised son? I'm going to report her. So this is what Sarai did. Let's say women again. You really brought somebody in your house to give your child. You get your own child. Now you're like, okay, let's just continue. So one time, that mocking and whatever, Sarai was really pissed. She went told Abraham, I don't want this mistress of yours. Remember, she's saying mistress. She's the one of women. Okay, sawa. This was so interesting. It was so interesting. Like, oh my God. What if I was in the same position as Hagar? Most women have been in same positions as Hagar. In the sense that maybe you've entered into a situation you've put yourself into, or maybe you didn't have a choice, you're just in that situation and things are not working out, you're just feeling left alone, things are not just working at that time. That's what happened. So it gets to a point, of course, I've mentioned that Sarai goes and said, I saw Ishmael mocking my own son. I want that mistress out of my sight, out completely. So Abraham is like, okay. It really stressed him. Verse 11. The matter distressed Abraham greatly because it concerned his son, because that's his son also. But God said to him, do not be distressed about the boy and your slave woman. Listen to whatever Sarah tells you, because it is through Isaac that your offspring will be reckoned. Wow. So I will make the son of the slave into a nation also, because he's your offspring. God doesn't leave us just like that, by the way. He doesn't just live like us. So that time, Abraham has just given her maybe water and some food, and just like, I just want peace in my family. I love you people. Please just know I love you. And they just leave. So at that time, what's her name? Ishmael and Hagar, they have left. They're in a desert. Nowhere to know. They don't know what to do. They have walked. Hagar is like, just sleep there, far away, because Hagar did not want to see the son die. She was like, I'm hopeless. I don't know how I'm supposed to go about this life right now. You just go and die there. I'm going to sleep here. If the animals come and eat me up, or they come and do what they want to do, or anyone comes, this is the end of us. And something beautiful happens, because now the child begins to cry, and just a minute. Yeah, this child begins to cry, and the angel again appears, and I don't like the angel who was appearing to Hagar, because he has really unnecessary questions. Okay, so Do not be afraid. God has heard the boy crying as he lies there. Lift the boy up and take him by hand, for I will make him a great nation. Another promise. It's coming to Hagar. Abraham already had the same promise from God himself. I'll make Ishmael a great nation. Okay? So, lift the boy up and take him by hand, for I will make him into a great nation. Verse 19, it says, the God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. So she went and filled the skin with water and gave the boy to drink. What a merciful God. Imagine you're in the middle of the desert. Oh, litafuta maji hapo. Okay. Maybe the international people watching me. You looked for water everywhere in that place. You did not get to see any well, any oasis or anything. You didn't get to see anything. So here, after the God has spoken, you're like, okay, so that well was there, or it was created there. And if you go on and on and on, you realize how God multiplied Hagar. Because Ishmael grows up, Hagar looks for a woman to marry so that they can continue to have descendants and all that. And he was successful at the desert, by the way. And it was such a beautiful story. This is where it got my attention. And this is what I wrote down, because I learned something. God still works even when we go off the plan. God still works. For the sake of Sarai and Abram, they were like, oh, Delilah, what are we going to do? This. God still kept his promise. I'm going to give a child, no matter how off you want to go, okay? The other thing is, God is faithful to the outcast. Hagar was an outcast. How many times has that lady been thrown away? And maybe because of the scriptures, maybe the writer did not want to bore us how many times she was thrown away. Anyway, the other thing God provides at the oasis, Hagar saw water. There's water here. And you know, you can do a lot of things with water. You can drink water, you can wash clothes, you can, what do you call it? You can do irrigation, you can do a lot of things. So at that time, I believe the desert already had turned to a place you can also plant and all that. The other thing is, God hears and sees us. Dear brother and dear sister, where are you feeling in life that is God really seeing that I've been fired? No. Is God really seeing that I am late for some things in life? Is God really seeing that I'm still waiting for marriage and marriage is not coming? Doesn't God remember he promised me before I finish school that these and these things are going to happen? I want to tell you, God sees you and God hears you. He knows my name. He sees each tear that drops and calls me when something of the sort. God sees you. In any situation you're feeling left out, you're feeling like things are not working, I want to assure you that God sees you, God knows you by your own name. He will never leave you, he will never forsake you. I hope that video has been very informative to you and also useful. I hope it has really assisted someone. So that's it for today's video. My name is Faye, or Creative Faye. Let's catch up on the next one. Bye.